I don't think that he's such a weak player that you can just pick a matchup into him and expect to just absolutely dominate him. But of course, when we think about top lane talent in Europe, it's not been our strongest, this split. And now he's going up against Xiaohu, who has been considered one of the best top laners in the world.
Yeah, originally one of the best mid laners in the world, now one of the best top laners in the world.
And he has a team that really enables him as a player as well. You saw that jungle proximity is ridiculous. Like the fact that it's 14.5%, that is so much time relative to so many other top laners. It's going to be really interesting to see what the game plan and the approach is. As we're now in the draft, Aurelia Jace Ophelia is going to come out from the side of Fnatic. RNG looking to remove the Misfortune away from Bean. So it looks like they're actually trying to remove some of his potential comfort. They're also going to remove the Jarvan and the Lucian. So I was going to say Lucian, I think, will be the first pick here. But I also wonder if Bean is down to be able to play things like the Ziggs bot lane, if they want to play the weak side. Ezreal is another option for them, but it looks like that with Lee Sin up and available, which is a common red side ban that we do see, Bwipo is going to get his hands on that.
Yeah, I was wondering whether it would be the Lee Sin or perhaps the Graves there, because of course can be flexed. Bwipo had a good early game performance on it yesterday. Just coming back to that Adam point, I think the motto that best exemplifies Adam in my mind is, it's a good death. Which is, he will often dive a tower, know he's going to die, as long as he kills his opponent and gets some extra CS or denies his opponent CS out of it. He is very happy to do that. Cryin here is going to be put across onto this Twisted Fate, although after Xiaohu played Syndra yesterday in the top lane, who knows, maybe TF is going top. Wouldn't get the most utilization out of his ultimate, but you never know with this RNG team.
I played against an AD Twisted Fate jungle the other day in solo queue, so there's always that potential too.
I didn't realize Unicorns of Love was scrimming again.
Ooh, okay. So the Viego. Now the assumption is, for now, that this is going to be in the jungle, but remember that the champ can always be flexed. We were literally just talking about this champion last game, where it seems that this champ is very much fallen out of favor in the current world's meta. But we're going to see it returned. It was one of Wei's most played champions, and we'll see how it performs, because I think that into the Lee Sin matchup, early on, Lee can do a lot of damage, but as it progresses, I can definitely see where the Viego can actually come out on top in the head-to-head. Meanwhile, Fnatic, they're going to match the Twisted Fate with the Sylas. This is one of Nisqy's go-to champions. Ryze, Sylas, and TF were his 3 most played during the playoffs, and it's a very common answer being used into the Twisted Fate as well.
We see as well, Fnatic deciding to put utility on their AD carry. No real surprises there. The Ashe, very strong at tracking the enemy jungler early on with the Hawk shot, something that is often overlooked in solo queue. And then obviously alongside that, the slows and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow can work out very well for you in a fight. However, low mobility on her means that Xiaohu's going to pick his Kennen up here and has the option always to get on towards that back line.
So I'm going to say it now. If Olaf isn't banned, Olaf top could be a thing.
100%.
Because I'm just looking at the amount of CC that RNG have, right? Yes, obviously the Kennen has massive AoE CC, but single target TF, single target Viego, and also against a Kennen, I could see a world where Adam would bring out his signature Olaf, but I'm going to wait to see it a little bit more, because right now I think Fnatic is, well, they do have some engage with the Ashe Arrow, but I consider that a little bit more of a pick style tool rather than a reliable engage. I'm thinking of Leona right now for someone like Fnatic. Meanwhile, RNG still have a lot of flexibility and options with their bot lane, and if they wanted to, they could just take the Leona for themselves right now.
Save your AD carry counter pick for last. Kennen, a champion that had a lot of priority in the LPL, was played in almost every single game of their playoffs, played or banned, whereas in the LEC we didn't see him that often. Support going to be saved for last here, with Kai'Sa getting locked in for Gala. A player synonymous with the champion. We all remember the Penta-Gala casting moment. Gala, 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 as he was able to get a pentakill in his first ever finals. And here he matches into a player who has never played in his regional finals in Bean. And there is the Olaf. Great prediction there, Vedius. Understanding Adam very well, of course. Alongside that, Hylissang's Pyke is actually locked in. I just took a second there to make sure it was.
I'm really surprised. So the main reason why I think they didn't go Leona was, number one, they don't want to have to face Gala going double cleanse, because you get a lot of value doing Ashe, Leona, and then playing cleanse into it.
Sure.
But the other thing is, I think that they expected Ming to want to go for a hard engage, something like the Leona that the Sylas could then steal. And so by going for the Rell, I think that it offers RNG more engaged tools while giving Sylas a slightly weaker ultimates to be actually steal away. Not to say that Sylas can't get any value out of it, but Leona that scales with AP, that's always a scary thing to have to deal with, aside of being, you know, just being sucked in by a magnet, I guess. So, yeah, I think that I like the pick from RNG. I think it gives Ming a lot of options to be able to set up dives as well. And it also synergizes very nicely with the Kai'Sa, because you have to remember that you have that really cool combo where she can dive onto the backline. Then you can also offer the stun from the Rell as well. A tried and true combo that we actually saw a lot when Rell was very, very prevalent in the meta. So it seems that RNG, they have still options where they want to go. Because they have Cryin on this Twisted Fate, he can easily play towards either side of the map. I expect it to be a very topside focused game, with Kai'Sa very much being left isolated in the bot side of the map. And then it's going to come into question as, how does Adam do on his Olaf? This is a comfort pick for him. This is something that domestically, when he was playing in the LFL, he made a name for himself on. It was this and Darius that were his two signature champions that kind of stood outside of the meta. And it is very lane dominant. It is a very scary thing to go up against, but if it starts falling behind, it can be something that RNG can very easily look to exploit.
It's very easy to kill if you fall behind on it, especially if you don't have the Ragnarok up, that Twisted Fate just destinying up to your lane. Team that up with a Slicing Maelstrom stun, and that Olaf is as good as done. However, top lane is where our eyes have to be in the early game. Adam, in his first ever international competition, playing against the only man ever to win an international competition in 2 different roles. It is truly a David versus Goliath on the top side of the map, and Fnatic trying to even out the numbers a little bit here. 5v1, we'll see if we can take him down.
All right, let's see what Fnatic tech they've come up with. So level 1s, for those that don't know, Fnatic is quite famous for coming up with crazy level 1 tech. Right now, Hylissang, look at Hylissang and Bean, look at the position they're in. They're trying to leverage the Fog of War. Well, it's all Fog of War, so here we go. Axe comes through. Xiaohu showing respect, not going to get caught out of position. I don't think they even spotted him. And now they should see him. So Fnatic know that Xiaohu know, and Xiaohu knows what Fnatic is up to. Meanwhile, pings are coming down on the bot side, red buff. So what I expect to happen now is the Lee Sin. Oh no, the thing is, you're Lee Sin. It's awkward. So normally what junglers will often do is they'll go back to base, they'll trade their trinket out for the sweeper, and then they'll immediately use it to sweep out their half of the map. But that's not what they're considering right now. Bwipo and Nisqy are clearly looking for a delayed invade.
Look at where Ming is.
What is, yeah, I was just about to say, what is Ming up to here? RNG read what is going on. They expect some sort of sneaky shenanigans, and here this ward is so big. RNG read the level 1.
Oh, such intelligent play by RNG. They're just going to wait it out. Oracle's popped. And Fnatic do not know, they are unaware. Pepe laughed, Bwipo by himself, left alone by Adam and Nisqy. Here we go, Cryin, flash stun card, Bwipo knocked up immediately. Bwipo gets the smite, tries to flash away, Ignite is ticking. Xiaohu flashes forward, Bwipo survives. The red buff secured though by Wei, he's gonna look for the Spectral, more stun. Adam has to flash away, and in the end, even though they didn't get a kill, RNG absolutely dominate that early trade.
Such great awareness from RNG. This is gonna put Wei so far ahead, and it's gonna put Bwipo's jungle clear so far behind. Look at what Wei's doing. Immediately moves into the top side of the map, knowing that Adam doesn't have flash, and this is going to give him the opportunity to split the map as well. This is going to make the 1v1 top side so much harder for Adam. And Bwipo, oh no, don't tell me he's pathing towards the top side of his map. Oh, this is going to be devastation for Bwipo. He's going to lose his blue buff. He's going to fall even further behind, and what he was doing to Willa is now happening to him.
Yeah, Willa backstage is rubbing his hands together gleefully right here. Wei, though, does have flash. Gonna get the Spectral, more stun here onto Adam. No flashes on Bwipo. Adam, there's the flash away from Wei. Nisqy down towards the bottom side, just getting wailed away on by Cryin. The flash forward as they look to Xiaohu. No flash on the Kennen either. Wei's trying to get away. Bwipo needs the auto attack. Stun's gonna land onto Nisqy. That's first blood. Wei escapes. Adam and Bwipo now level 1, running back to the safety of their tower. Cryin locks in the gold card, but RNG will satisfy themselves with a kill, with all of Bwipo's jungle, and with Fnatic basically not having a jungler for the next at least 10 minutes of the game.
So Fnatic saw Xiaohu isolated, and they had an option to just commit onto him and get that kill because Wei was out of the fight. But Bwipo was like, if I get this double buff, it is massive for me. So he overcommits and he separates from the rest of his team, creating a 2 versus 2 with which RNG are able to turn around in their favor. Beautiful stuff from RNG. They continue to accelerate this early game lead.
GALA.
And they're now in some trouble, though.
Heal used by GALA. Hylissang still has the Ignite here. Wave pushing in underneath the tower. Someone is burnt for the RNG bottom lane as the wave does push in. GALA, of course, falling behind in CS early on Hylissang. continues to be a nuisance, but GALA didn't have a support for the first couple of waves of the game, so it's no surprise that he is about 7 to 10 CS down. Bwipo trying to steal this way. Actually, already level 3 catch-up XP is a hell of a drug there for the Hylissang, as he's been able to get himself some gold. And now Adam leaving lane once again from the top lane, joins up with Bwipo, steals away a little bit of the camp, and helps get his jungler back in the game.
This means that Bwipo will actually be able to secure both Scuttle Crabs because Hylissang and BEAN do have the prio in that lane. So not actually that bad overall for Bwipo. If they can secure this blue buff as well. Ooh, but Hylissang has his eyes on GALA.
It's an absolute psychopath, this Hylissang. Like, it's just drained out of bone skewers. Bwipo now can take away this blue. And it's the second time in 2 days we've seen a Hylissang basically have nothing in the early game to getting back into the game pretty quickly. And
okay, but to be fair, Willow was put much further behind yesterday.
I'm trying to equate the two so that Fnatic feel motivated and come back like,
well, I mean, right now, they're not in like a massive deficit. There's only 1 kill, the difference right now. Ooh, nice sidestep there from Ming. Hylissang has landed a lot of hooks. The thing that we didn't talk about, which you did briefly mention, was because Ming was up with the team during that whole play, so much was lost for GALA. You can see that a massive CS discrepancy has been built up because he was 1v2 in that lane and didn't have any assistance. And now, because of the play that Bwipo has shifted towards the bot side of the map, Adam is forced to go back to base. He recognizes that he's in a very awkward position right now. He is down in experience, down in farm.
It's a massive wave he lost out though as well. So, yep, going to be about half the farm of Xiaohu right now. As you say, we'll be able to catch this underneath the tower in the end. I like the strat of backing, TPing back, knowing that the wave's there, getting a little bit more defensive itemization underneath your belt with that Ruby Crystal. Adam is able to catch this wave. 500 gold between the two teams, or thereabouts, and across the board, slight leads on the bottom side of the map for Fnatic, whereas on the top side of the map, RNG very much in the advantage.
So, the thing to take into consideration now over the next few minutes is this wave is stacking for Adam toward Xiaohu. Bwipo, though, while his camps are actually pathed up towards the top side of the map, the thing that I'm curious about as to who's going to hit level 6 first between the two mid laners. There's a world where Fnatic can look to leverage a stacked wave up towards the top side of the map, try to threaten Xiaohu and actually kind of use the level lead that Xiaohu has against him, because you can see Adam just hitting level 5. Nisqy's going to have the push in mid. There's a window where he can roam, but Bwipo instead choosing to path towards bot. Looks like that his eyes are actually on the Drake, trying to leverage the bot push, or he's maybe even threatening a bot dive. There are 0 TPs available right now, and I think the bot dive is the play.
Ming's going to try and get out of here. Gets caught in the middle of his jump. Has to flash.
Oh, but Adam is now in trouble.
Adam not yet level 6, doesn't have the Ragnarok. Turned up with the slicing mash from Wei on his way as well. Adam trying to get out of this, the undertow. He's going to go back and pick it up. Now takes the flash away. Spectral more. Stun. Wei goes wide. Adam still running for the hills here. Destiny's coming in. A counter Destiny as well. And now Nisqy's in for a world of hurt. Underneath the tower, Xiaohu goes, and Nisqy. Destiny straight to his demise.
But such a massive misplay here from Fnatic. Like, everything that we were just talking about, the stacking wave for Adam up towards the top side of the map, the fact that he was going to be forced to overextend in that position, you have to be aware of what RNG can do, because they're going to do it. Yep. This is RNG that we're talking about. The level 6 comes through for Cryin. What does he do? Immediately looks towards the top side of the map, and while he was not necessary, Xiaohu took advantage of the fact that he was level 6, and he ends up punishing Adam in the 1 versus 1. He's now going to secure himself more plates. Now let's see if Fnatic can get something back on the cross map.
Ming actually going for the engage here, still going to get stunned up. Hylissang low, Ignite is taking GALA, dives forward, and Ming takes the kill. Bwipo here a little bit too late. Dragon's Rage kick available, but he misses the Sonic Wave. Now the TP's come in, and Fnatic are trying to make plays on the map. Bwipo will be able to take out one, but Xiaohu comes in Enchanted Crystal Arrow from BEAN. There's the kick. GALA down, BEAN survives, Xiaohu down as well! And BEAN, the substitute, gets 3 kills in the early game. What was that?
So initially that play looked like a travesty for Fnatic. The fact that Hylissang lost his life so early in the straight up 2 versus 2, but now this is so good for Fnatic because Xiaohu, he's going to lose this wave. He committed his TP top. Adam can get so much back. As I said, he can get back. No, he's not. He's going to roam mid because that's what Adam does. But it was such a great play from Bwipo because he held on to the kick in the exchange so that he can actually knock up Xiaohu while also setting up GALA to be killed by BEAN. So everything ended up working out nicely, and now Fnatic have equalized the gold. BEAN is sitting at 2-0-1. GALA is extremely far behind, and even though Xiaohu had a huge advantage top lane, and he's still level 7, of course. And let's have a look back at this. So you can see here the level advantage for Xiaohu. If you look at the minimap, you can see that the Sylas is primed and ready to TP up towards the top lane, but Cryin is in exactly the same position. And if Adam had something like a Gore Drinker here, yeah, maybe he could turn this one around, but it's just a huge overcommitment from Nisqy. He should have recognized that his top laner was dead, and he ended up giving over a kill that he just didn't need to give over. Meanwhile, on the bot side of the map, Ming has just backed, meaning that the moment they come back in, they're primed and ready to fight. Everything gets burned onto Hylissang, and he can't disengage. And you think, okay, at this point, Bean is dead, especially when Bwipo misses his Q, but he ends up getting that initial kill. Bean flashes away. We don't have time because we got more fight.
Hylissang has 6 here. Death from Below's going to land it. Cryin going in with the Destiny as well. Death from Below from Hylissang just to try and get away from this Spectral Maw flash. Bean stunned up. Wei takes out Hylissang, and now underneath the tower. That's the shutdown. RNG answer back in the bottom lane. However, Nisqy's on his way. Bwipo there as well. Dragon's Rage kick about to come off cooldown. There's the stun card. Bwipo once again missing the Sonic Waves. The call of the Q not quite hitting yet. Gala dives away with the Killer Instinct and will survive.
Really nice play once again from RNG. They do not slow down. Even though they are typically a topside focused team, the moment Cryan's ultimate is up, they look for a play. While Ming does end up falling, it doesn't matter because they end up getting 2 in return. Getting that shutdown onto Bean as well, kind of hurting his momentum, is a really big deal for RNG, and they make sure that they keep the game going their way. Cryin on this Twisted Fate, one of his best champions, something that he is extremely comfortable on, showcasing what he's capable of and how much impact he can have over the map.
Everywhere on the map so far, alongside Wei, that deadly duo for RNG. Hylissang here and Child of Crystal out. Cryin not 100% sold. He had to flash from that one. Bone Skewer goes wide anyway, so doesn't have to really pay for the fact that he flashed a little bit too early there. I think the arrow was going wide.
Still respects it, ever. The thing about the Ashe hitbox is it is, you know, slightly bigger than the arrow.
The majority of hitboxes, to be honest.
So he does showcase that respect. Something we also have to know, Adam, how Xiaohu's like, where's Adam? And Adam's like, I'm right here.
Adam has a Kindle Gem and a Ragnarok to try and take this trade. Xiaohu runs away, doesn't actually really expend too much there, just the Lightning Rush, and Bwipo able to take the Rift Herald here. So that's a Dragon and a Rift Herald taken by Bwipo. Nisqy here on the bottom side, teaming up with Hylissang now to defend this bot lane tier 1.
So they've moved Bean into mid, and they basically said, hey, listen, if all Cryin wants to do is farm and leave, you sit here and farm, we'll keep Nisqy bot lane, and he'll just stay relatively safe as Hylissang looking for any opportunity to find a pick. Wei, once again, up towards the top side of the map. This man is always proactive.
No, the Bwipo's here. Xiaohu doesn't have flash, doesn't have a way to get across here. Sonic Wave once again going wide, but Bwipo's on his way. There's the Destiny. Bwipo underneath the tower, stun carded up. Spectral Maw just short once again. TP's coming in as Nisqy tries to join this. And once again, it feels like Fnatic are throwing good after bad here. With the TP coming in from Nisqy, not really much he could do.
Exactly that. It's one of those questions where, like, okay, even if Wei didn't know that Lee Sin was there, the reality was that they had the Twisted Fate ult primed and ready to go, and this is the great thing about Cryin. He's always right behind his team whenever there is action about to happen, and this is how he utilizes this Twisted Fate so well. Now this is a 2 versus 3.
Magnustorm coming out this TP as well. Stopwatch from Cryin keeps him alive, and Child of Crystal is going to hit onto Xiaohu, and the TP immediately. Adam just runs in the wrong direction. This is something that has plagued Fnatic over and over in the LEC. Their willingness to take a fight bites them more often than not.
They keep over-forcing these plays. Sylas is nowhere near strong enough to try and fight anyone right now. He really needs that Everfrost completed at least. And with Adam so far behind in the 1v1, there's very little. They shouldn't be trying to force this, but they are. And like, yes, if Hylissang can get a couple kills, then you can start sharing that gold around, and there are ways in which you can get back in. But I felt like Fnatic was in a fine spot.
Yeah, it was like 600 gold.
The gold was relatively even, and instead they kept forcing, and RNG's like, okay, we'll happily take this. They're playing the map so much better. They're utilizing this Twisted Fate extremely well, and they're benefiting off the bat.
Ben Travis there with the Adam on Olaf, Hilly on Pyke, get the 500 cc's of Hopium stat. That's a very low dose of Hopium, to be honest.
But I mean, look at this. So he immediately gets stunned. Really nice side step from Cryin. The engage comes through, and the TP comes through from the Olaf, but Hylissang's already dead. So squishy this early on into the game. And I mean, he's going to keep being squishy. He just gets more damage later on. Adam then TP's in, but it's just too little too late. And it feels like the frustration is really starting to mount for this Fnatic roster. They're trying to force plays, and here comes another one.
Looking for Cryin underneath the tower. Bone Skewer's going to land. Cryin, no flash, no way out. Shutdown goes over to Nisqy.
So this time around, Fnatic are able to make a play successful. They're able to shut down Cryin and get a little bit of gold into their back pocket. But look at the side lanes. Gala is pushing down bot and will get himself plates. Xiaohu is doing exactly the same top, and he will get himself more plates. And you have to sit there and ask, was this really worth it? Okay, you will be able to take down the mid-tier 1, but you're sharing this gold amongst multiple members of your team. Meanwhile, Wei and Gala are going to secure the tower bot lane. Xiaohu secured himself 3 plates top. RNG overall should be pretty happy with the gold that they gained.
Vito's going to charge inside. It's 2 towers in the mid lane, but as you say, RNG still very much in the lead in terms of gold. 1,300 their advantage. Hylissang looking for Xiaohu on the top side of the map. The Krugs, one of them will be taken out, but Bwipo will very happily accept this as it comes back. They're looking for this dive, but Cryin has Destiny. Wei is on his way up. The wave is not going to be here in time. I mean, it's a 5v3, even with the Destiny coming in. Bwipo attract repel, able to dodge away. There's the stun card. Way down towards the bottom side hook. It's going to land onto Xiaohu. And for once, Fnatic show a degree of self-control.
Yes, they certainly do. They decide not to dive, which I think was the smart choice. RNG were like, go on. Be my guest. We're all here. We're ready and we're waiting. RNG will not pick themselves up kills. All they ended up expending was the Twisted Fate ultimate, which may give Fnatic a small window. But the big benefactor of all that was Gala.
Yep.
Remember that he was half the CS of BEAN. He was very far behind in lane and he was struggling, but because he's been given so much freedom and the tower, he's now completed his first item. He's ahead of farm versus BEAN. And hang on.
Everfrost coming out. Ming caught in it. Wasn't intended for him. Here's Hylissang as well. There's the Bone Skewer. The Cryin who has to flash away. Magnet Storm pop now. And after a moment of self-control, Fnatic lose all of it once again. Gala takes the kill onto Nisqy. Xiaohu chasing Hylissang down off towards the top side. Misses with the initial shuriken, so Hylissang should be able to go away, but Xiaohu not having any of that. Flashes in for the kill.
And it's another situation where RNG is just poised and ready. You know, there's 2 members sitting in mid lane. They have the teleport available on Xiaohu. It immediately comes through the second that Nisqy and Hylissang overstep. And you just have to wonder what the comms are here in Fnatic. They keep overforcing these plays. They keep trying to find fights that they are just not able to come out on top of. The experience is starting to mount. Really, the only person that's far ahead is Bwipo. He's been dominating in terms of the jungle farm, and he has 1 level now over Wei, but I don't know if that's going to be the difference maker when your mid lane is sitting at 1 and 4 and your top laner doesn't even have an item yet.
I think the big thing, if you are looking at this as Fnatic, is you have to say, let's just put our foot on the brakes. Let's just stop with these plays.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
It won't, but if you actually look at it from an objective point of view, right? We're 16 minutes in. Yes, the kills are very different, right? There's a big difference there, 6 different kills. But Fnatic are within 1,000 gold of RNG.
Yeah, they are.
Like, you don't have to keep forcing these Hail Mary plays to be able to get back on into the game. You can see the difference, as you say, actually even in the jungle, down towards the bottom side. BEAN has a slight lead. Top lane, very advantageous for Xiaohu, but you can ward for him. You can try and keep that Kennen out of the fights.
I can hear the hopium. I mean, the important thing is to consider how these fights play out. So RNG's comp is very dive heavy, right? They are obviously a very good team fighting team, by and large, because of how talented Gala is.
Sure.
And when you think about how their composition works, they have a lot of single target damage outside of the Kennen ultimate.
Yeah, the slicing mouse from the big
but Ashe are going to go wide. That could be bad for Xiaohu. Yeah, okay, Bwipo going to come in and save him there. But Wei is going to do a lot of single target damage, look to try and get resets. Oh my, Hylissang plays on the edge.
It's just the same stuff. He gets the kill of Instinct down, I guess, and Gala's flash in. There's the Destiny, and the chase is on once again. Cryin looking for it, but couldn't quite find the gold card. Tower falls on the top side, and RNG just continually accepting every kill that Fnatic decide to give them, and Nisqy's looking to give them a little bit more, it seems. Flash in, flash away from Ming. They didn't want to bring Xiaohu and Wei across. Of course, no TP, but Xiaohu now, alongside Wei with the Rift Herald, can just charge down this tier 2.
Exactly. Fnatic, they claimed so much control over the top side of the map. They get themselves a tower, they get themselves good vision, and then what happens? They try to force a play in mid lane. Gala ends up getting the kill. Cryin is immediately behind him with the Twisted Fate ultimate again, showcasing his proficiency on the champion, and then RNG immediately punished by pushing through the top side of the map. And it feels like that every time Fnatic tried to make a play happen, not only does RNG stop it or turn it in their favor, they then get even more somewhere else on the map.
RNG constantly showing us why a lot of people look at them as strong favorites for the tournament. Bwipo going for the kickback. Cryin here, we're locking the gold card. Nisqy on his way as well, and Cryin doesn't really have a way to get away from this one. No flash for him, means that he will fall. Fnatic able to find a pick on the side lane. But yeah, RNG very much one of the favorites for this tournament. And even though they came in as the 3rd seed from the LPL, a lot of people look at them as very strong. Killer Instinct stolen away, but Nisqy will not look to go any further there onto Gala.
Gala didn't have a huge amount of vision, but even that still wasn't enough. He just sidestepped everything. This man is always a pleasure to watch. 164 CS, highest in the game right now, with a fully completed item, working towards the 2nd. Interestingly, Adam has actually been able to catch up in the CS department, and is actually even in levels. So I'm not really sure how he did that, but he did.
I'll be honest, there's been so many like individual, oh, these 2 people are fighting now, these 2 people are fighting now. I don't blame you for not tracking the exact top lane paths.
The gold is clearly very different in the top lane. Now, the jungle has gone even more in the favor of Wei. He's been able to catch up in terms of experience. He's got a 500 gold lead, the mid lead as well, bot 8 lead. It's just RNG have leads across the board, and while the lead is not so insurmountable that I would call this game done and dusted just yet, the way in which RNG is approaching this game is it's just a matter of they are approaching the fight smarter, they're utilizing the Twisted Fate ultimate extremely well, they're not overforcing skirmishes, and they're able to punish everyone on the map. Now, Wei is in a 2 versus 1, but look, Ming and Gala get to collapse first, so in the event that a fight started, they would have been in a better situation. Having a look at Pyke, who's now sitting down towards the bot side of the map as well. And it's this Drake that we're really keeping our eyes on. 1-to-1 in Drakes for now. That's likely where we're going to see the next big objective.
Hylissang constantly looking for these hooks. Xiaohu will go in with the rocket belt. Hylissang will be able to dodge across the wall. But right now, RNG are the ones pushing forward. Xiaohu has the attract repel on him, and Nisqy is backing in a bush. He was in the shop, and the stopwatch will only stop time for a second. Nisqy dies. Xiaohu now on a killing spree. And Bwipo doing basically the exact same thing his mid laner did, except without the death. There, as RNG gain control of the bottom side river. And with 20 seconds on the Cloud Drake, they should be able to secure that pretty soon.
A lot of mistakes from Nisqy this game. We've seen him overcommit, overforce, and now losing to the shopkeeper, literally, as another fight kicks off.
There's the Magnet Sword from Ming onto the backline. Hylissang trying to get away, and Charter Crystal Arrow goes through the uprights, and there comes the slicing mouse from great kick back by Bwipo, but the rocket belt is back up. Hylissang tries to get away, will just about escape. Destiny from Cryin on towards the back. Bean's going to open up, try and get the damage down with the Ashe, but already RNG get another couple of kills and work their way straight across towards the Baron.
And Fnatic, they don't have their mid laner, and they pick a fight 5v4. RNG are just... They don't have to do anything. Fnatic is doing it for them.
They're going for it again. Here we go. TP coming in from Cryin as RNG. 4,000 HP on the Baron. Bean stepping forward. Adam there as well. There's no smite here for Fnatic, but they still want the fight. Wei secures it. Adam down already. Nisqy down as well. And I can do nothing but laugh because it's so Fnatic to see. 18 kills to 6 now. RNG, Baron buff, game well and truly in control. And after a few early missteps, RNG have totally taken this game out of Fnatic's hands.
They certainly have. RNG have just responded so much better. Fnatic, they are not slowing down.
Maybe they should. As Bwipo looks for the fight. Here comes Xiaohu! And immediately he's turned back around on RNG. Hylissang trying to put the damage down as he can. Can't quite get the stun, but there's the death from below, and maybe they shouldn't. Wei now in a 2v1 as Bwipo continues to trade in. Ming on his way. Attract repel will land the stun. Doesn't want to use it yet. Dragon's Rage kick will knock Wei back. Hylissang still looking for it. Death from below isn't enough damage. The counter, the Heartbreaker from Wei goes wide. And the fight continues as Hylissang in the end falls to Ming. They're going to chase Bwipo as well because Wei has stolen away the Phantom Undertow. But Nisqy dives back in. The Slicing Mouse to turn it back around. Gala already unstoppable. And Wei still survives. Nisqy down. Wei in the end will fall. Adam trying to chase onto Gala. He'll get the shutdown there. Ming with the crash down. Being low. Adam now in a 2v1. The exhaust will tick away on him, but he will still be able to get a triple kill.
Hang on.
He's healing up the Undertow. Cryin, do you have a gold card to lock in? Find one in your stack deck, he'll pull it out, and Adam will run away.
Who has Baron now? Is it just Cryin?
Yep.
Wait, I think that was actually really worth for Fnatic.
Yeah,
they got a bunch of shutdowns, and like RNG just lost 4 Barons. Look, their Red Bull Baron power play is only 800 gold. Adam just made so much money off that fight. And if he had a summon, he probably could... Oh, Hylissang's back. Medic, hope your voice is ready.
Here we go. TP coming in. Bone Skewer goes wide. Everfrost's going to hit Adam. Doesn't have the flash. Looking for the Undertow. Connects with the edge of it. And Hylissang can... Oh, he messes it up. He messes up the dive across the wall, but Cryin still caught out. And Cryin will fall.
No Baron left. That's it. All the Barons are gone.
I'm sorry I ever doubted you for that.
Well, okay. So, let's let us recap, shall we, Medic? RNG find themselves with a 5,500 gold lead. Clearly still, 4,500 gold lead. My apologies, my math is a little wonky after this game. RNG have twice the number of kills and are clearly in a great position. However, Adam just doesn't know that. Hylissang believes that money is more of a construct. Yeah. You know?
have you ever seen the copy pasta? When Fnatic are 10,000 gold ahead, Hylissang knows they're in a strong position and goes in. When Fnatic are even on gold, Hylissang thinks they're in slight hole, so he goes for the fight. When Fnatic are 10,000 gold behind, Hylissang knows he needs to make a play, so he goes in. That's kind of been the story of this game as he looked to try and get a flank, and now we'll join up with the rest of his team. But as you say, let's recap Vedius.
Well, it's the items that really need to be recapped, because even though Fnatic, yes, they removed the Baron from RNG, and yes, the Dragon Soul is not really a massive point of contention, the truth is that RNG is just so far ahead in itemization.
Ming going in with the Magnus Storm. Wei is here. Cryi's coming in with the Destiny as well, but Ming's already dead. Death from below is going to find that mark. They're looking to try and chase into Gala. The slicing mouse from onto the back line is able to get enough. Bwipo able to kill off Gala. Pop the stopwatch, 2 of you. As now it's a 3v3. Nisqy will fall. Adam and Bwipo, the only 2 left alive for Fnatic. The chase continues. Cryin, no flash. Bwipo able to safeguard across the wall. Adam, no Ragnarok, and Xiaohu can chase him down, but with the undertow, there's the slow. Wei will get the movement speed from the harrowed path. Adam cannot get away from the Spectral Maw, and that is enough. Adam tries to kill off Xiaohu, but doesn't have the damage to do it.
And this is exactly it. Yes, Fnatic earlier on were able to get a good number of kills, and they were able to remove the Baron from RNG, but the reality is that the item differential is still very real. And while Fnatic is able to take down the bot lane of RNG, the top side stands strong. Wei is 8-1-9. Xiaohu has 3 fully completed items on this Kennen, and they're able to just dismantle the backline of Fnatic. Very well played team fight from RNG, and they continue to hold on to the gold lead.
Yeah, but Hylissang not going to be able to land the Bone Skewer as the rocket belt procced there by Xiaohu, and RNG now able to take down a couple more towers. 3 minutes on the next dragon if they want to look for it. It would be a third of the game for them. Second Cloud, Fnatic pushing out the bottom lane. There is a TP ward behind them. Wei here. Oh, he's on the right side here of Bwipo, who is looking for something, but now he's on the wrong side of dodge. Bone Skewer's going to land. Bwipo going to dive, waiting arm straight into Gala, who will take the kill. Cryin looking to pour a little bit more out of this one. There's the killer instinct from Gala, and immediately he dives onto the backline, and BEAN is down. It's a triple for Gala as he wipes away the bottom side of Fnatic's map.
And RNG once again punish Fnatic. They wanted to try and find a pick onto Xiaohu, catch him unawares, but RNG had already made their way back out onto the map and were primed and ready to make plays happen. 9-3-10 is the scoreline now for Gala, and RNG are making their way into the base of Fnatic.
And it feels like now RNG really are slapping Fnatic with their wallets. Fnatic continue to look for a play, but their inhibitor in the bottom lane is down, and RNG can just take whatever they want from the map. 30 seconds on the Baron. Expectations are they will start to set up around that. Of course, Hylissang with the resets, Nisqy with the stolen ultimate could do something, but it's very much last chance saloon here for Fnatic.
Certainly is. With the base now broken, and with Baron spawning so soon, it's just a matter of time. It feels like, oh, Hylissang, he's like, oh, it's the enemy? That means a play.
Bone Skewer up.
It's not going to reach.
You're correct, because he didn't cast it.
Correct. Okay. Let's take this brief moment of reprieve to recognize RNG continue to look like heavy favorites in this group. Every single thing that Fnatic has thrown at them, RNG has immediately shut down. They've punished every single mistake. They have been performing exceptionally well individually. Cryin is showcasing why you really shouldn't give him Twisted Fate. He has been involved in 20 of their 29 kills. And what's even crazier is Gala's been involved in 19 of them. And yes, they have looked dominant. Right now, with the bot inhib exposed, double TP is still up and available for Fnatic. Oh, Adam, he has been spotted by Xiaohu. Adam.
Able to dodge away from the first shuriken, but Ragnarok will have to be popped here from Adam because he's stunned up. Able to walk away, actually, for the moment. Bwipo hits a Sonic Wave as Cryin decides with the rest of RNG that they don't want to take that fight. They're looking for Gala in the mid lane, but Gala can just back away. Nisqy hasn't stolen away the Destiny or anything, so it doesn't have that flank potential. And at some point soon, Fnatic are going to have to answer that bottom lane wave. Adam there now, double supers pushing in. RNG will reset and then can look to push out towards that Baron once again. And as you say, RNG very much the favourites in this group. I think PSG, after a good win against Hanwha, will be looking for that second spot. And as much as it sounds a little bit like an EU fanboy, I do want to give Fnatic credit because they've come out with fighting spirits in this game and have constantly tried to make plays against RNG, even though
they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, even though they have been in the hole sometimes. But when your AD carry subs out, it's a pretty difficult thing to work around. Baron now secured for RNG. Good take by them to reset into the Baron when they knew Adam had to deal with the super minions. Was a perfect bit of macro there by the LPL representatives.
Yep, very clean overall. And very little opportunity for Fnatic to even get in for a potential steal. Now with the Baron empowered minions and a wave pushing down mid, they're looking to do more damage to the base of Fnatic.
Yeah, Gala's at 4 items now. Infinity Edge, Kraken, Collector, Runan's very powerful, very quickly going to melt through any of these towers. Bwipo trying to answer that bot lane wave, but the super minion is pushing in. Bone Skewer after Bone Skewer, not connecting here from Hylissang. As Fnatic will walk into darkness as Wei and Cryin are in a very strong position if they want to take this fight. Ming could dive in as well, but Hylissang knows he can be a little bit more risky as to how far he pushes up. Super minions in the bottom lane now about to pass where the inhibitor usually would be. Hylissang lands another hook, but Ming really doesn't mind too much. Cryin has the destiny to join his team if a fight erupts in the middle lane. The inhibitor tower not taking too much damage as Kai'Sa, not the longest range AD carry in the world, will struggle to walk up there in the face of Hylissang. The wave still about 5 seconds away, so Fnatic actually had time to clear that bot wave and then catch this mid wave. Question is, will Gala push forward? Arrow is only going to land onto Xiaohu. There's the Everfrost as well. Ming chunked out a little bit. Rapid fire cannon from Cryin, putting some damage down onto the tower. And here goes Xiaohu with a slicing maelstrom into Magnet Storm. And Fnatic, a valiant defender. Their base was ended in a heartbeat by RNG. Being down, RNG with a triple kill for Xiaohu. Death below finds nothing. And RNG will clean ace Fnatic in their base.
Excellent dive from RNG. They'd had enough of the wave clear from Fnatic. They knew they had the gold lead. They know they have the items. And they know that they have the damage to wipe Fnatic off the map.
RNG undefeated in their group, having taken down PSG and Fnatic, looking to make a statement in that group. I think a lot of people will look at them as a team that could possibly 6-0 after seeing Hanwha fall to PSG earlier today.
Yeah, I think that it was one of those games where RNG did a lot of what RNG often does, right? Already look at their level 1, they read the map. Everything that they expected Fnatic do, they were able to punish. And they actually put Bwipo so far behind very early on into the game. But it really did feel like that Fnatic was just throwing themselves into RNG and RNG was just catching it. You know, RNG really didn't need to do a lot because so many fights were so overforced by Fnatic. The number of times we saw, like, even that top lane river play where there was actually a big window for Fnatic to come back. Maybe they kill Xiaohu, maybe they force the TP. No, they greed for the double buff. They split themselves apart and then Cryin ends up getting a kill. And all these things, it was just Fnatic really just... Every opportunity they had to fight, it seemed like that they were trying to go for a fight. And I feel like that in a position where they didn't need to, they ended up costing themselves a lot.
It definitely feels like one or two of those moments, if they had just held back, if they'd been a little bit less aggressive, they probably had much more of a chance in that game. And we've seen Nisqy's face a few times. He looks pretty dejected.
Well, I mean, he must be frustrated because he did not have a great performance in that game.
Nor did he yesterday, actually.
He had 9 deaths at the end of that game. We saw a number of times where he was overextended. And obviously, like, the World Championship is